Welcome, everyone, to People on Dating. I'm your host, Will Morales. And for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, this podcast is about the ups and downs of dating and how to navigate through it. Today, my guest is Elliott Katz. He specializes in coaching men over 40 on dating, again, after 40 and after a divorce. Elliott, thank you so much for being on People on Dating. How are you, sir?
Great to be here. Thank you for having me.
No, it's my pleasure. So, Elliott, tell us how you got here to today. What was that journey like to become a coach, helping men after, when they turn 40, after divorce? What was that journey like?
Well, it's a lot of it's my own experience. I was married for 10 years, then I got divorced. And like a lot of people, at first I blamed the other person. Then I came to the point of asking myself, what do I have to learn from all this? That really set me on and realizing there was a lot I had to learn, and I had a lot, and grow in myself before I was ready to start dating. And now I coach other men who are starting out dating again after divorce or end of a relationship. And there's a lot to learn, and a lot of messages people hear are we think, oh, this is what we're supposed to do, well, how come the woman doesn't appreciate this? And we'll talk about some of those examples as we get into my list of important things to do when you're a man over 40 dating.
Yeah, it's funny. And today's topic is a good one to me, dating tips for men, especially after 40. So Elliott, and in your journey, right, you're talking to men, you probably, all this new, they call it modern dating.
Right.
Are men over 40, or even if they're 30, I know you coach over 40, but let's say, all right, let's go with 40. Are they finding it hard to meet women that might be a few years younger, maybe in the mid 30s, early 30s, late 30s, because standards are just not aligned? Yeah, go ahead. I already could see what you want to definitely chime in on this one.
Well, interestingly, when you go out into being single after 40, after divorce, there's lots of single people. There's lots of single women, but men have been out of the dating scene for 10 years, maybe 20 years, and they're not really sure how you're supposed to go. They hear all these new ideas, and they think, okay, well, I'll just do what I hear these ideas telling me, and they're not working. So, and the women resent them, and they can't understand, well, aren't I doing what I'm supposed to do? So I'll tell you a story. Years ago, I was dating a woman, and she said to me, "You're a good dater. What are you doing?" And I thought she was making fun of me. So I said, "Are you making fun of me?" She says, "No, you date well. What are you doing?" So I said, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I took all the new ideas about dating and I pushed them out of my head, and I went back to the old ways that really work. And as much as we hear on the media these ideas about what women want, they really want a man who makes them feel safe and protected, a man who makes them feel special. All these new ideas. And if you want, we can start going through them. Like,
yeah,
number
no,
one.
please. Before you do that, Elliott, so you think that's mostly what some people say is don't listen to what a woman says, but see or take or look at what a woman does. Does that apply here? Because it seems like when you hear some of the women.
Well, some of I think women expect men to know certain things, and men have heard in the media all these ideas.
Yeah.
So that we think, oh, we're doing here. I'm gonna give you my list. So first thing is learn from your past mistakes, your past relationships. Like, before you start, if you just came out of a long relationship, you take some time to think, it's the other person's fault. It's all her fault. Take some time to think, well, what do I have to do differently? What do I have to change about myself? Maybe I wasn't the kind of man I was supposed to be. And that I found there's a lot of men. That's why I wrote these books.
Right.
So first thing, when you meet a woman, ask her out, be a man with a plan. So many times the guy will ask a woman out and just, would you like to go out Saturday night? And she says, yes, I would. What did you have in mind? Oh, I don't know. What would you like to do? And he thinks I'm showing I'm a non-controlling good guy. She thinks if this guy can't even choose a place for a cup of coffee, how is he going to handle the challenges of marriage and family life? It's a big turnoff. I know women.
I did that, Elliott, when I was younger. So thank you for, yeah, go ahead.
I know women will say, if a man can't choose a place, can't plan a date, it's a big strike against him. Actually, I was once interviewed by the relationship columnist of the Wall Street Journal, And she told me that she won't
Wow.
go out with a guy who doesn't have a plan. Okay, next. Oh, this one is, I get feedback on this one. If you know you're going to pick her up like with your car, open the car door for her. She
Wow.
really appreciates that. I've had men say, "Oh no, you're not supposed to." I tell you, I've done it lots of times. No woman has ever said to me, "You think I can't open the car door myself?" You want her to feel special. And I'll tell you, I open the car door for anybody, but someone is a guest in my car, I open the door for them. So especially if you're taking out a woman and you want to court her and you want her to feel special, open the car door for her.
Wait, Elliot, before you go on, right? Open the door. I have a friend of mine. She's young. She's in her 20s. And she went on a date with with a gentleman. And it did bother her that he didn't open the door. Everything else he did okay, but it bothered her a little bit that that he did not open the door. So yeah, I definitely get that part. So guy, I'm sorry.
It makes her feel special. You want her to
Yeah.
feel special. Okay, you take her out, pay for the first date, especially for the first date. Pay for it.
$100.
I just saw on Fox News that this guy, he took out this woman and the bill came and he wanted to split the bill. And she got all upset because he thinks, oh, I'm showing I believe in gender equality. We'll split the bill. That's not the way to show you believe in gender equality. Pay the bill. Like take her a place you can afford to pay for both of you and pay for it. It makes her feel special. It really, yeah, that's what you want. It's not about the money. It's not about, you know, I know. I was talking to this woman once, very attractive woman. She's single. She told me she went out with a guy. They went out for dinner. The bill came. She offered to put her credit card on it, and he accepted. And she said, now he can't understand why I won't go out with him again. See, guys, really, they've heard all this stuff, gender equality,
Yeah.
women can earn money just like men. Yes, that's all true. But when she's with a man, she wants to feel like a woman. She wants him to make her feel special. Pay for her. It makes her feel special.
100% agreed. When I hear this, that they want to split the bill on the first day because, like you said, of gender equality, whatever. But no, just take charge and pay. I definitely agree there. On the first date, a man should pay 100%. Go ahead,
Especially
Elliot.
even like some guys will say, well, she makes a lot more than I do. I went out with a woman who probably made twice as much as I did at the time. I always paid for it because I liked her a lot. I wanted her to feel special.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Oh, don't ask about former partners. Don't ask like, oh, you're a nice woman. Why aren't you married?
Yeah.
Or don't ask her about others. Just don't ask her about it. Especially, you start talking about past relationships, people, it sort of brings back, hurtful memories, and then she'll associate those hurtful memories with being with you. So
Yeah.
just don't ask her. And don't badmouth your ex. Don't
Yeah.
badmouth her.
100%. Yeah.
Don't say, oh, it's all my ex-wife's fault. She's this, she's that. Really, nobody wants to hear it. And everybody, a lot of people have an ex who's going around bad mouthing them. They don't want to hear. If you bad mouth your ex, you're really not. She may see, well, you're not really ready to start a new relationship. You're not over that last one. So,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and if she asks you, if she says to you, "You're a nice fellow. Why are you divorced?" Don't blame your ex-wife. Just say, I've spent a lot of time learning and growing and seeing how I should have been different. And now I'm ready. I feel I'm ready for a new relationship. I've learned from my mistakes. That
Yeah.
that, that really impresses a woman a lot. Um, yeah, any more? You want more?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, these are great dating tips. We're talking with Elliott Katz. Today's topic is dating tips for men. He already gave us a few. Have a plan the date, open the car door. I was gonna say, don't talk about your ex and never bad talk about your ex. No bad
Right,
talking.
right,
No,
right,
yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah.
right. You have to show that you're ready to go on. Okay, so some more things. Act confident. Women like men who are confident. So even if you're kind of nervous, fake it. Like was Tony Robbins says, fake it till you make it.
Make
Act
it, yeah.
confident, and you will become confident. And dress nicely. Women know that they go on a date. They make themselves look nice. I remember I was set up on this blind date, and I thought, oh, I don't. She's very. But when I went to pick her up, she came out. She made herself look so nice. She dressed so nicely, made me feel special. That you went through this effort to go out with me.
Yeah.
That makes me feel special. And the same way, Don't come dressed like a slob. This is the way I am. No, get them to nice clothes and make her feel special, that you consider this a special event. You're going out, dress nicely.
I wanted to touch base on that about dressing I call it dressing to impress because I remember one time, Elliot, I was walking home and I was in the subway and I'm walking home and I see this couple coming towards me. They're maybe a few feet away from me, and I saw the woman. She was dressed beautifully. She had like a white dress on. I think it was white. Oh, white skirt, right up to her knees, beautiful blouse. And then when I saw the guy, he had a backward caps on. He had his sneakers and shorts. And I'm like, oh man, she went all that effort, and this guy just, look if he's going to start playing basketball or he's on his way to the gym or something. So I definitely agree. You gotta, at least if you go on a date, at least wear a blazer or at least a nice
Yeah,
dress shirt.
dress nicely.
Yeah,
You go to a singles event and you'll see women are dressed nicely, usually. But
yeah,
the guys that come like slobs, they think, oh, I could wear jeans and a t-shirt. Women aren't really, they don't really go for that. You see the guys that come
yeah,
dressed nicely, they go over and talk to the women. The women are interested in them. It just shows that you want them to feel good. Okay, so be on time. If you're
yeah.
late meeting her, it makes her feel like you don't really respect her. And if you're
Got
going to
it.
be late, call her and apologize and make sure you have a good reason.
Yeah,
Okay, another thing, don't cancel the first date unless you have a very good reason. If you cancel the first date, it's also makes the person feel have a lack of respect for her. Like she's just there all the time waiting, available to you. So,
yeah,
you know, if you have to, something emergency, okay, but you, don't just cancel. Oh, you want to do something else instead.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, don't just make small talk. Like make sure you like ask the other. And don't just talk about yourself. Guys like to talk about themselves. I know I like to talk about myself,
yeah. Unfortunately,
but
we all do. Yeah,
ask her about her life, her job, her education, where she grew up. I mean, anything. What her interests are, what her goals are, what her dreams for the future are. Just try to get to know her. Don't just make small talk. It's sometimes people just make small talk the whole time. Then they don't really then well what are our goals? Do we have the same goals? Like do we have do we want to live the same way? Where do you want to live? You want to live in this country? I live in that country. Well,
yeah,
it's not going to work. You want to live in if your goal is to live in different countries. Okay, another one. Switch off your cell phone and put it in your pocket. Focus your
yeah,
attention on her. And if you need to keep it on because you expect an urgent call, like explain it to her and only answer the phone for that call. I remember I went on this date once, and in the middle of the date, the woman's cell phone rings. So, and then she answers it, and I thought, okay, she's going to say, I'm busy right now. I'll call you back. No, she actually has a conversation with this person.
Oh my
I
God. Imagine if you
thought that
did
was pretty funny.
that.
I thought it was pretty funny. Anyway, so
Yeah.
don't do that. It makes me feel like, oh, like wait, you agreed to go out with me. Like, okay. Well, don't hide important information about yourself. Like if you have children, tell her. Like, don't keep secrets from her, because she may wonder, like, what else you're hiding from her. And that's really important. I mean, you don't have to, spill your guts out about everything, but especially if you have children, you don't hide it from the person. Don't,
Yeah.
no surprises. So those are some of my ideas.
I
Well, what do
think
you
these,
suggest?
no, I love these. I love it. Like I said, I'm just gonna go over a few of them. Have a plan the date, open the car door if whether it's an Uber or your own car, pay for the date, especially the first date. Definitely pay for that. Do not talk bad about your ex. Don't talk about your ex. Dress to impress, in my opinion. Be confident, be on time. I agree. Don't cancel the first day unless it's a family emergency, and get to know her. I think that's, to me, out of the list that you have. Obviously, pay for the first date. I think is very important, but asking her questions, getting to know her, I think that's the biggest thing. Because yes, I've done it. I talked about myself and not even ask her one question about her. So I agree. I think that's the biggest thing is to ask her questions, get to know her, and all that. So Elliot, when you start meeting clients or potential clients, especially after divorce or they've been single most of their lives and now they want to like find someone they want to be with. Is there a criteria that you put them through? Is there a checklist that you want them to maybe fill out and you'll say, hey, this is potential client, or I don't know if we could work together. Is there like a criteria that you look for?
Well, no, it's more of like they start telling me the challenges they're having on dating.
Yeah.
So like one fellow said to me, this latest word is like be vulnerable, right? Be vulnerable. So what does that mean, be vulnerable? So he thinks he goes on these dates and he's vulnerable. He tells them about, how miserable his divorce was and how he's having problems earning a living,
Yeah.
and then they don't want to go out with him again. They put him in the friend zone. I said, that's not what being vulnerable is. I think, but see, that's the whole thing. It's like, what does it mean to be vulnerable? I think being vulnerable means that you show you have the courage to take risks. That's what I
Right.
think it means.
Yeah.
And so if you're just going to spill your guts out, yeah, that's not gonna. You got to stop that and just be strong. Don't if you're having challenges earning a living, don't tell her. Don't talk about your divorce.
Yeah.
Ask her about herself. Tell her about like the things you like to do. Like this fella like to go hiking lots. Of tell her like you like to go hiking. You want to go hiking with me. These are the things I like because even if you're going through difficult times earning a living, everybody goes through. There's challenges. Everybody has challenges earning a living. Sometimes, other times they're doing well. The person should be attracted to you because you're a good person,
Yeah.
and you take on challenges, and that's nothing. Like another fellow said to me, oh, he was divorced because this is what he said, that he his wife didn't like that he always talked about his feelings. That we hear
Mm.
today, well, women want men to talk about their feelings and be sensitive. So I said, well, like don't talk. Don't talk about your feelings. Maybe once a month you could do
I
it.
agree 100%. I think for most women, that's a turn off if you're like
Oh,
pouring out your heart. And, to me, if you're going to pour out your heart to either your brother or your buddy, that
absolutely.
I'm with you
Absolutely.
100% there.
Absolutely. Because a woman wants to feel safe and protected with a man, like men today, when I tell them that, they've never heard that before. They want a man to make them feel safe and protected. So if you're always coming home and spilling your guts out, oh, this person was nasty to me, that person was nasty to me, you know, uh, it's the same thing with the word sensitive. Like, oh, men should be sensitive. Well, what does that mean? Be sensitive, and this person hurt me this way. Like, it,
Yeah.
it really turns off a woman. If you're sensitive, meaning you're sensitive to other people's feelings, you care before you say something. You think, well, how will it impact other people? Well, that's being sensitive. You're sensitive to other people's feelings. That's kind of sensitive you should be. There's then I was just talking to a person the other day. He said to me, he goes on blind dates, but they're not helpful because he's not good at having conversations with the woman. So
Yeah.
he's going to give up going on blind dates. He's like in his 50s and never married. So I said, you really need to, you know, a skill. There's a skill in terms of learning to talk to people like
Yeah.
you're just met for the first time, and you really should, you shouldn't give up on dating. You should work on developing that skill. And one thing I suggested to him that he joined Toastmasters. I don't know if you're familiar with
Yeah. I
Toastmasters.
heard about that. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a it's a organization where people help develop their public speaking skills and impromptu
Yeah.
speaking skill and gain self-confidence in speaking and speaking up. So I suggested that to him. So I think a lot of things that people just never learned, just because like I said at the beginning, we hear all these messages, oh, be vulnerable, be sensitive, you know, don't be controlling. Oh, nobody wants don't be controlling. But that doesn't mean you can't have a plan to suggest for first date. It doesn't mean you have to do it, but if you come empty-handed, it's going to be big turn off. If you say to her, I thought we'd go to this movie, and she says, oh, I've already seen it 3 times, then maybe she could suggest a movie. If you don't have a second movie to suggest, that kind of. But don't come empty-handed. Oh, what would you
Yeah.
like to do? I speak at singles events, and one event I said, how many women here put up your hand if a man has asked you out, and then you said yes, and and you said, what did you have in mind? He didn't have a clue, and most of them put up their hand. They don't like it. They don't like. They just
Yeah.
want like you know, be a man with a plan. Because it really, in a relationship, in a marriage, you know, a woman does not want a man who just comes home from work. Oh, what should I do? Tell me what to do. I'll do it. She wants a man who comes home, sees what's going on, sees, oh, here there's a problem here. Here, I know how to solve it. Or I'll find out the solution for this problem. You take it off her shoulders. She loves that. Meanwhile, if you just put everything on her shoulders and you think, oh, just tell me what to do, I'll do it. And you
Yeah, you're
think,
just gonna turn her off.
showing her,
Yeah,
I'm non-controlling, I'm such a nice guy, I'll do whatever you say. It's a big turnoff. And in fact,
yeah,
a lot of men who are divorced, they don't realize that. They just thought the whole marriage, I'll just do what she wants. Why is she so unhappy? Why is she so angry at me? It's a real thing. I mean, that's sort of one of the main messages in my book is about showing leadership. It's not, don't be controlling, don't be domineering, don't be a tyrant, but don't just lay back and, well, just tell me what to do, I'll do it. Because when a man does that, it makes her feel like he's a child and she is his mother, and she
yeah.
doesn't want to be his mother.
No, 100%. I love that. And let's segue into the books. I mean, first of all, Elliot, thank you so much for being on People on Dating. I really appreciate it. My God, these are great tips. Talk about your books.
Okay, so the first book, which is the one I wrote, sort of the lessons I learned
Yeah.
from my after divorce, which I should have known when I was married. Being the strong man a woman wants, timeless wisdom on on how to improve your relationship. Really, maybe show your share of leadership, make decisions, don't leave everything to her. Take responsibility. Don't give in to things that are wrong and then blame her. Have courage, be manly. Manly is actually a very positive word. It's actually a virtue. Or
Yeah.
the original meaning of the word virtue is manliness. So a lot of women who read this book wrote to me and they said, well, how do I get my man to start taking charge more at home? I'm tired of always having to decide everything, have to, make every decision. So I wrote a new book called How to Get Your Man to Wear the Pants,
I love that.
inspiring him
Great
to
title.
make more decisions, take the lead, and stop leaving it all to you. And it's just strategies, because one of the important things, here we're talking about what to say in on date, how to talk. It's really how you talk to the other person is really key. You need to talk to a person the way they need to be spoken to. That's real leadership. You have to talk to the person to inspire them to want to do what you want them to do and feel good about it. That's
Yeah.
so if you say you're lazy, you're good for nothing, you hardly do anything at home, I don't think that's going to motivate.
Definitely not.
But if you say, hey, you did that. You get up early in the morning and make breakfast for the family before you leave for work. Well, I really appreciate that. That's really, I really appreciate that you did that, or just things like that. Just like what to say to him, so he'll be inspired to want to take charge and take the lead. Because you see, like I've been saying, all the men have been told, oh, don't be controlling. So men think, well, I won't be controlling. I'll be the nicest guy. I'll let her do it,
Yeah.
make all the decisions.
Yeah, make it
And I'm
worse.
the nicest guy. And she's fed up and frustrated with them. And a lot of, marriages and relationships break up because they're fed up with it. They really don't want that. And when I tell men, how many men I've coached, like say, you got to take charge where you got to show leadership. They'll say to me, no one's ever told me this before.
Yeah.
I've heard this before. And men who are divorced have read my books, and you see it on Amazon. They say, if I had known this, I probably wouldn't be divorced today. Or if I had read this book 10 years ago, it would have changed the course of my life. So I tell men, read the books. It's a lot cheaper than getting divorced.
Yeah, 100%.
And you'll see the difference it'll make. It's like, just read it, do it, you'll see. And like, I tell you on my own journey, I'm talking
Yeah.
my own journey, when I started doing this, I thought, will it really make a difference? If I choose a place to go for a date, if I see a problem, I don't ask her what she wants. I just say, hey, let's do this. I mean, she could suggest something else, or you know what else? There's one fellow I was coaching, and I explained this. A lot of time women will ask you questions, like to make decisions
Yeah.
on things that aren't really important. Like they don't matter to me, they don't matter to men, and it really makes no difference either way. Do it either way. Doesn't matter. And I said, no, you can't say that. You have to. She wants to make the decision. Make the decision. It makes her feel safe and protected.
Yeah.
And if the decision doesn't matter to you, then it's easy to make. And really, this one fellow I was coaching, we were laughing about it. He said, I make these decisions. They really don't matter to me. But when I do it, she says to me, it makes her feel safe and protected. So it's all these things this generation of men didn't learn.
Yeah.
We need to learn it. And my goal is to reduce divorce and reduce the number of children from broken homes. So
No, that's a good mission to have. And before, talk about your coaching, because we could touch a little bit more on that, on your coaching.
Well, I mean, basically I described, but I did basically just talking to men and helping them realize that, those old-fashioned ideas that you thought you were pushing away, they're really valid. And a woman really wants a man who's strong, who makes her feel safe and protected, who, you know, and makes her feel special. It's really, really important. And we just talk about ways to do that. Like,
Yeah.
don't just leave don't just wait for her to tell you what to do. If you're, a lot of men will be leaders at work. They'll be managers, directors, and they know how to take the charge at work. But when they come home, they become passive. They say, okay, I'll just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Really, men have they have their professionals. They have their own practices, and they're running them. But they come home, they're tired. I said, well, yeah, you got to save some energy to be the leader at home. That's what she really wants.
Yeah. And I
So I
mean,
mean,
yeah, go ahead.
go ahead. No, I was going to say, so when I meet with a man or on Zoom or whatever, that's we just discuss the situation, and I suggest ways to change the situation. Let me just clarify about coaching. See, I'm not I've from my experience and what other people have told me, like, couples counseling often doesn't work because each one is attacking the other. The
Yeah.
counselor's in the middle. Each one is saying it's the other person's fault. They need to change. The other saying, so I say, well, you know what? It's usually not very helpful. I can't get your partner to change, but I can coach you on how you can change yourself to
Right.
get your partner to respond the way you want.
And
That's what I do.
that's important. And Elliot, if somebody want to get in contact with you, what's the best way?
Well, there's my website, www.elliottKatz.com, ELLIOTTKATZ.com, or they can email me at my email, Elliott, ELLIOTTRKATZ @AOL.com.
That
And
sounds good.
people want to talk, and I do the first half hour for free, but really my goal really is to help people. And this isn't really a business. I really just think I've seen too many divorces, too many children from broken
Yeah.
homes. And when there is a way that, that people, man could change the way he does things to get his wife to really, start falling in love with him again. It's let's just do it, because the pain of divorce lasts a lifetime for kids.
Yeah.
It's not right.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Elliot, again, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to people on dating. I really, really appreciate it.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. Bye bye.